All right, it's the next day. My friend's supposed to help me on Friday, which is tomorrow, but I'm a little impatient, so I'm gonna try and throw this all in tonight, and I'll see how far I can get, if I get stuck anywhere, or if I'm scared that I'm gonna break apart because I don't have a second set of eyes helping me while I lower the car down. Then I guess I'll wait till tomorrow, but I really wanna get this thing in, so I'm gonna give it my best shot. Whew. Took me about 2 hours, but she is in. I just haven't tightened the shock bolts. Haven't done the subframe bolts either, but it's all sitting how it is. All the bolts are hand tight right now, but I had a little bit of trouble. I don't know if I can see, but I'll try and get a better angle. There you go. I can barely fit my phone in here, but I spent probably an hour and a half taking this engine in and out 3 different times, clearancing this primary on these Speed Engineering long tubes. And holy moly, it's really close to touching, but I don't think it touches. So she might touch a little bit on like bumps and around corners. No clearance itself. I already beat the shit out of these enough, so, and I just don't want to. But yeah, she is bolted up. I haven't done the subframe or the transmission yet, so I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna come back tomorrow and I'm gonna get everything else bolted up. I'm gonna get the radiator and the condenser in, and I'm gonna put all the coolant hoses, hook up my battery, put the drive shaft in, put all the fluids in, and we're gonna get this thing first started. All right, I am back at the shop. It's been about a week since the last time I recorded, but I did get a lot of things done. So let me flip the camera around real quick. So there's no car here anymore. I did end up getting her running and driving. There's a few things I got to tackle before I would say she's fully ready to be driven full time, but she's running good. No leaks so far. I've driven her about 50 to 60 miles. I gave her a wash finally. She looks really good now. I still gotta wait for a shipment of my exhaust flanges and some 3-inch piping to finish out the exhaust, because right now it's just straight out the headers, loud as shit. But I've got a few mounts I gotta put on real quick. I lost them. I ordered them on Amazon, and I was cleaning my shop today, and I just found them. So I'm gonna get them thrown on and then return those other ones real quick, and then I'm gonna take her out for a little drive. That torque brace bracket put on. It's the bracket right up front here. That was a pain to get on because the bottom side is held in by a clip part, so it was just a pain because it's under tension and I had to use a breaker bar. My hand's a little cramped up trying to get that in, but my output shaft of my transmission is leaking a little bit. So I'm gonna have to replace that at some point soon. It's dripping down the bottom side of the transmission. But I need to, next time I come over, I'm gonna adapt my exhaust to my existing system. But I should have enough piping from my old exhaust to make something. So I got flanges ordered for that. So the next time I come out here, I'll get that done. But for now, I want to go and take her for a little drive. range. It's right on the edge, I'll show you. Should be reading over 13, so I don't know what's up with that, so I'm gonna figure that out right now. So I did some testing and the alternator's reading fine, so it's most likely a ground underneath, so I'm gonna here soon get up underneath that and check all the grounds. But the alternator's fine because when I first started up, the alternator on it was bad, so I put my original alternator on and that fixed the problem, and now all of a sudden it's wanting to read weird, but I don't know. I'm just gonna say it's fine for now, but I'm not gonna drive it much until I can get the ground issue solved. Yeah, she is a ripper. I gave it maybe 70% throttle on one of those 2nd through 4th rips, and she goes. Nothing too out of the ordinary so far, but I'm sure at some point something's gonna show up. But I haven't put AC in yet because my condenser is completely chock full of stuff. So I'm just not gonna hook that up until I can buy a new condenser. But anywho, she, after 2.5 years of not running, she finally runs again. I can finally show off that cool paint design with the hood. I made a post on a Facebook group, an auto body and paint group, and they said what they think this is the original car was black, so that's what you're seeing underneath here, and then they sprayed silver in some spots, and then they sprayed candy red over it, and they did like a marbleization effect on the hood, and they did it on the sail panel too. So it's kind of neat, pretty interesting. The black shows through on the rest of the paint job a little bit. It's kind of hard to tell in this lighting, but I'll throw up a picture here that I got earlier where you can really see it better. But I'm not too worried about any paint stuff right now. There are a few spots where they need some work, but that is way down the line. There's a lot more things I want to do to this car before I do that, but she's running for the most part. Now, since that car is finally running, it's time to get started on my Galant VR4. There's a few, I was trying to record a video of me installing the dash in it, but I am missing this part of the whole blower system. This is for, I think this is the AC part, but this bracket is also broke here, so I can't even use this, so I have to source out a whole entire new plastic casing for the AC portion and the heating portion. So my buddy has a parts car that I'm gonna buy those off of him, so at some point in the future there'll be another video on me installing the dash and detailing the interior on this thing. So I'm gonna get that pulled in the shop here in the next few days, and I'm gonna get started on that.